Hello folks, Jason Chrisman, JC's Bees, your Central Ohio beekeeper. Boy, it's already muggy and it's only 9:30 in the morning. Got this pampas grass blowing up in our view here. We're sitting over in front of the Apiary colonies that I set up this year, and they are doing quite well so far. I plan to make an inspection on them in the next couple weeks and share that with you. It was just last week I shared that I had got my 7-frame Apiary set up, and they are doing quite well also. So we'll share an inspection on all of them in an upcoming video here real soon. But this morning, me and Ladybug, we're just out checking the bees and taking a little walk. And you know, I thought I want to ask everybody a question today. And the question is, why did you start beekeeping? What was your interest that made you take on insects that sting you? I'm going to go ahead and tell you mine, and then I'd like you to leave your reason that you started beekeeping down in the comments section. My particular reason that I started beekeeping was a swarm that landed in my yard. Before that swarm landed in my yard, a few years before that, I'd already been thinking, you know, someday down the road I'm going to start beekeeping. And then, you know, 2 years later or a few years later, that swarm lands on my tree and voila, I've grown into a beekeeper. That was in 2009, so been at this quite some time, and over that period of time I've just fallen in love with the honeybee. Not only have I learned about beekeeping and honeybees, but the honeybees themselves have taught me so much about my surroundings, nature in general. For instance, when plants start to bloom, I've learned all kinds of different plants and trees. And I have to say, honestly, if it was not for the bees, would I have taken the time to educate myself on certain plants and trees? Probably not. I probably wouldn't have. So the honeybee has really opened my eyes, I guess. For instance, I know when goldenrod starts to bloom, that's a sign of goldenrod flow, of course, as a beekeeper, but it's also a sign of fall. Fall is coming. It's just around the corner. At the end of winter, when the maple trees begin to bloom, I know spring is growing very, very close. So I can't say enough about how much the bees have really taught me about nature. Ladybug, is that pampas grass good, honey? It's my little grazer girl. Yep, this is that's a good grass, Daddy. I had to put you out there with the cows, Ladybug. Let you graze a little bit. So what I would like you to do is go down in the comments section below and tell me why you decided to become a beekeeper. And then maybe tell me some of the things that the honeybees have taught you. I'm just curious, and I'm sure there will be a lot of viewers that would love to read over the comments and just see why other people decided to become beekeepers. So do me a favor, leave that down below. Now what I would like to talk about is the nectar flow. I really expect that to run dry here in the next few weeks. Up until here the last, week and a half, we've been very, very dry here in Central Ohio, and that's definitely not going to help the nectar flow. Now over the last week or so, we have had a substantial amount of rain, but it's just the time of seasons where we're in between blooms. There's really not a whole lot for the bees to work. Now, if you're fortunate, you've got a lot of clover growing in your yard, and the bees will work that. And that will help hold them over, but it's not going to be enough to justify not feeding. So please take time to go through your colonies and consider feeding when the nectar flow dries up for a bit. Now in my area, it's usually mid-July to early part of August when that dry spell starts. So for that time, I will be feeding. That way the food that's in the colonies now doesn't dwindle. Now by not feeding, obviously the food that they've got stored in the colony is going to dwindle because they're going to be eating it versus the syrup that you're feeding them. So take time to think about that. And if you haven't watched Dana Scott interview by Frederick Dunn on a Hive Alive additive, I strongly suggest you do that. And maybe consider getting some Hive Alive to add to your syrup when you start feeding. There's several great benefits about Hive Alive and adding it to your syrup. And it doesn't have a real strong smell to it, so I don't think it's going to cause a robbing frenzy like Honeybee Healthy. Honeybee Healthy, the smell of it, the spearmint and all the essential oils is so strong that bees can smell it from several feet outside of the colony. So think of, if you're one of the people that likes to feed Honeybee Healthy, think of it like a steakhouse. When you pull into a steakhouse, you can usually smell the food before you go into the restaurant, right? Well, it's the same for the Honeybee Healthy. When you put that inside of a colony, all the bees in the area know where the food is. So I'm not against Honeybee Healthy, just be careful using it, and maybe think about switching it out for the Hive Alive, because it does offer a lot more health benefits for the colony. I haven't really seen a study that proves the health benefits of Honeybee Healthy. The essential oils in it, though, do kind of make the bees go after it. I guess they like the smell. But as far as the health benefits, I'm not sure really what there is in the Honeybee Healthy. So if you have any questions or comments about anything I said today, you can leave them down below. I hope you will participate and why you became a beekeeper, and leave that down below. Thanks for watching Ladybug Graze this morning, and we'll see you next week. Now, what I would like to do is finish this video up by going back to the house and letting out Moose, the other dog we just got, the male, and I'm gonna let them run around here in the yard so everybody can see Ladybug and Moose. I got in a lot of trouble last week by not sharing Miss Ladybug, so I want to make sure I share her. So remember, if you enjoyed this video, a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please take a minute to do so. And remember, when you click on that bell, you can get notified when I release new videos. Let's go get Moose, Ladybug. Come on. Come on, Ladybug, let's go get Moose. Ladybug. There's the wife's gourd project. She's going to have birdhouse gourds. Got them growing here on this trellis. And the idea of the trellis is that as the gourds start to develop on here, the gourds will fall down through this cattle panel and they'll hang down. And that makes the neck on the gourds pretty straight versus growing them on the ground where they can be crooked. So it's going pretty well. I'm not sure really what this means. Anybody have a green thumb? Know what those yellow spots mean? Leave it down below, it'd be appreciated. Come on, Ladybug, let's go get Moosey. All right, so here they are. We got Moosies and Ladybugs. Ladybug just got her a new thin choker. She's supporting the necklace today. Huh, Ladybugs? And then Moosey, he's got his great big gold choker. They're doing really well. They've been playing a lot during the day. Moosey's all healing up. He's feeling better. Oh, Moosey. Him needs brushed out though. But he's doing real well. Huh. Let me show you what Moosey likes to do. We've got Moosey a Nerf Frisbee. Come here, Moose. All right, good boy. Come here, Moose. Him don't like to bring it back to you. Come here, Moose. Well, Moose is being rather difficult, which is nothing new. He is nothing like Miss Ladybug here, I tell you. He's more like a toddler that gets into everything and doesn't want to listen to anything. But we're gonna have to keep working with him and get him back in line. So he's more like Ladybug. Pays more attention to Dad and listens, huh, Ladybug? He's such a bad boy. Anyway, folks, hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching JC's Bees. Let's go, ladybug.